Hi, this is Pam Gray with the Acoustic Hounds, and welcome to In the Music Room. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line to see that man of mine. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line. When I left home, I didn't mean to roam. Traveled down through Austin and found myself in Boston. Made a lot of friends along the way, but now Kaufman County's where I'm gonna stay. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line to see that man of mine. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line. Traveled near and far and played a lot of parts. Didn't matter where, but somehow I got there. Made a lot of friends along the way, but now Kaufman County's where I'm gonna stay. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line to see that man of mine. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line. Took the train today and think I found my way. Walked into the station and had a revelation. I didn't have what mattered along the way. So now Kaufman County's where I'm gonna stay. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line to see that man of mine. I'm headed for that Kaufman County line. Yay, I remembered the words.
Welcome, guys. What a great sound. You can't stay still. You just got to be moving those feet. The Acoustic Hounds. I guess, Pam, you've been voted spokesperson tonight for the band, so I'm going to let you introduce your bandmates.
Okay, well, we have, it's kind of like the Partridge Family, except we just don't have like a Technicolor bus or anything.
Yeah.
So we have my dad, Phil Boyd, on bass, the upright bass. And then we have Jeff Gray, my husband, and he's playing rhythm guitar. And then we have Craig Denny, he's an honorary member of the family, and he's playing banjo this evening. And my name is Pam Gray, and I'm playing the mandolin.
And that's our dog, Layla.
Hi, Layla.
And we want to welcome you guys to In the Music Room as Layla goes upstairs.
I kind of like the sound hound in there, you know.
Yeah.
That's how we got our name, actually.
That is. We named ourselves Acoustic Hounds because my parents have, it was like, I guess, my dog brother, half-brother. After I moved out of the house, they got a dog, and it took the place of me. And I'm not saying that I was, jealous or anything, but...
Well, it didn't sing as well as you do, though.
No, but he did like to listen to the music, and that's kind of where we got the name Acoustic Hounds.
Soundhound. I like it.
Yes.
I like it. When did you get together and start doing this?
Oh, gosh. When did we start our band? What, 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
Latter part of 2008.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
That
Time
long
flies,
ago,
doesn't
wow.
it?
Yeah,
I should be
Craig
better than
joined
this.
right at the end of 08, beginning of 09.
Right.
And where do you guys live?
Kaufman County.
You are in Kaufman County.
Yeah, all four of us are in Kaufman County.
All right.
Actually, Jeff and I, we live in the suburb of Scurry, Texas, in a little city called Cottonwood, and it's 2 roads.
Yeah, and we know everybody. So.
Well, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
Wow. No stoplight or anything like
Oh,
that?
no.
No.
You might have to stop for, like, a chicken running across the road or something.
Population 147.
Salute.
Salute, there you go.
Who's the writer?
Oh, that would be those two.
All of us really are.
Yeah.
You're just too humble.
I know.
Hey, I just play the banjo.
We actually all have written some songs, and I know myself, I kind of pride myself on being a singer-songwriter. You know, there's lots and lots of great musicians out there, but I kind of gravitate to the songwriting. That's and my wife, you know, I could start them, and if it wasn't for her, they'd never get done. So she's the finisher out of our.
Kind of like I start the housework and you finish it up for me.
Yeah, something like that.
I like
That's not a
that.
bad deal.
Now I know what you do.
Okay, teamwork.
That's right.
Yeah, it was to say about good intentions, right?
Yeah.
Who would you say was your biggest influence for your sound?
Somebody that I can't approach yet, Earl Scruggs.
Earl
Yeah,
Scruggs?
that's the hero there.
Yeah.
He's probably the hero of every
Banjo
player.
player.
He and John Hartford seem to get the.
Right. For me, a big influence for me is Rhonda Vincent and Claire Lynch. We went to see them at a bluegrass festival in Frisco one year, and I was just amazed at the talent and the genuine sincerity of them after the show. I mean, they're people just like us, and they took the time to talk to each and every fan.
Right, very approachable.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah, very approachable.
I think people should always be approachable.
Sure.
You know, because I know with Helen and I, when we started doing it in the music room, one of the main things is we wanted to take our time up with nice people. We didn't want to promote the other kind. And there's a lot of them in the industry, too. We just let other people promote them. There's no, there's no shortage of people.
We also had the opportunity to meet Ricky Skaggs that evening, and we'd heard stories about Mr. Skaggs. Well, I don't know, he might be a little sorry. He was the nicest, genuine guy we'd ever met. So anytime I hear anybody say something about Ricky, I say, I'm going to tell you what, that man had been on a bus for 12 hours, played in 40-degree weather, and he was just a great guy.
And he's a great musician.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
Yep.
Yes.
Phil, you and I, we kind of grew up in the same area. We talked about that earlier. A lot of Beatle influence in both of us, I think. What about you and your writing and your bluegrass influences?
Actually, the Beatles are my number one influence. Probably some Flatt and Scruggs. I like a lot of their songs, as well as, believe it or not, the Byrds. So
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of the avant-garde member of the bluegrass band.
Hey, Phil, are you the big cat daddy?
No, I'm not the
You're
big
not.
cat daddy. No,
Aw.
Who is?
Now, who
No,
wrote this
actually,
one?
okay, that was a song that I
Pam
wrote.
wrote that one.
Okay.
And we have a family friend that inspired me to write this song. When you listen to the song, I mean, it's not about him, but it's just kind of the whole idea about what he does and has and things like that. But the true inspiration for this was a Rhonda Vincent song that I heard. It was called Banana Phone. And it was just totally non-traditional bluegrass at its utmost peak, I guess you could say. And so, and my daughter had been listening to 40s music. It reminded me of Zoot Suits, and so that's where it came from.
Oh,
Let's hear
cool.
it.
Big Cat Daddy.
Birth of the Bluegrass Boogie.
There you go.
All right, let's do it.
Till she only sits behind the finest of cars. You'll always find her chewing on his Cuban cigars. She got a friend for life when he tells you he is your pal. He's my big cat daddy, I'm his fun-loving anytime gal. He takes me to the parties on a Saturday night. I got the life of Barbie and it's suiting me fine. We got a big thing going, this party staying in her corral. He's my big cat daddy, I'm his fun-loving anytime gal. When he takes me out on the town, we always have a good time, jumping and jiving at the Soundhound Lounge with a great big bottle of wine. Now when I've been a good girl and my daddy is pleased, he sends me pretty packages from Tiffany's. We got a good thing going, this party staying in her corral. He's my big cat daddy, I'm his fun-loving anytime gal.
just not sure. He popped the question to me back in '64. We got a good thing going, this pony staying in her corral. He's my big cat daddy, I'm his fun-loving anytime gal. That's right, he's my big cat daddy, I'm his fun-loving anytime gal. That's right, cat daddy.
I do it every time.
Every time.
Every time. I'm used to being on stage, man. It's
You are on stage. It's
are.
okay. Do it like you do. Remember, I'm recording by tracks. I
Believe
can take you out. Be nice.
Believe it, you're on stage. I got to check my tuning here.
Okay.
You know how to tune a banjo, don't you?
No. Yeah, I know how.
With wire cutters.
Wire cutters every time.
For our listening audience, how can they find you online?
Well, you can go on Facebook and like our band. Go to Acoustic Hounds and that's plural Hounds, Hounds, and like our band. And if you would like to look us up on the internet, go to www.acousticsoundhounds.com.
And what all can they find on your website?
Well, you can find a calendar of where we're going to be. You can find a bio of each of us. And you can actually put a face with the voices that you're hearing this evening. And you can also get an address and a phone number if you would like to order a CD. Then we would be more than happy to send you one. Or if you would like to get it on iTunes, you can also get our album from iTunes.
Yeah.
Or we have one retailer that sells our album.
Oh, we do.
It's Ernest Tubb Records,
Okay.
Texas. In
In
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth.
In Fort Worth.
Wonderful.
Very cool. Now, who is the culprit that wrote Margarita Buzz?
That would be me.
Okay, then you got some explaining to do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The song is a much better version of what really happened on my honeymoon.
How would you even remember?
Being from Seagoville, Texas, I had no idea what a booze cruise was. Never heard of such a thing. Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, and then like she said, it's all started off real good, but at the end of the day, she had a broke foot because she was trying to get me back to the
broken toe.
A broken toe. Sorry about that.
That's pretty close to the foot.
Yeah. And so
Because he kept stepping on it.
yeah, she was trying to get me home, and so. But the thing is, after I'm not going to say woke up. After I came to, she wasn't there. It was probably 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I walk out to the beach, and lo and behold, there she is with another man right there on the boat.
No, you tell the rest of the story.
Well, okay, he's from Plano or something, and he was a nice guy, but she was just out there being nice, and it was all innocent and everything. But it didn't go over too good with me. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. This is our honeymoon.
Yeah.
No, it was
Yeah, you
all-
drank margaritas and passed out, so
Oh,
you
Lord.
deserved it.
You know what? That's
That's right.
I earned every bit of that one.
Hey, I'm sorry. The best I could do is get the boat there.
But that was fun. I'd like to do that again someday,
Yeah.
sober.
That was Cancun,
Just wear
actually, yeah.
steel-toed high heels this time.
There you go.
We'll see how we go.
Yep.
So, how about doing that song?
You bet. Love to.
Toes in the sand, your little hand in mine. It's happy hour and we're leaving the world behind. The waves keeping time, the salt and the lime break a few. Margarita buzz of the tequila sunrise and you. The world spins around, no love I found with you. Still drunk and tired, you're my little mama of two. Well, now we're finally alone with the finest Patron. Oh, hell. So much for the beach, do you think we can reach read the buzz of a tequila sunrise, and here we go. Got 2 empty cups, I'm holding you up and me too. A margarita buzz, a tequila sunrise, and you. Yeah, a margarita buzz, a tequila sunrise, and you.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm just kind of curious about something. You two had mentioned that you do have children. Are you like pairing this next generation to continue on and become part of this Soundhounds group?
Well, we're trying. We have a daughter. Her name is JC Gray, and she is 11 years old, and she loves The Legend of Zelda. So right now, everything is Zelda this, Zelda that. We bought her an ocarina, and she's playing that like nobody's business. She plays by ear.
Yep.
And she plays quite well, but I just don't know how an ocarina would fit with a banjo and all of that.
Until you try, you won't.
You never
That's
know.
exactly right. But she doesn't, she's non-conforming. She wants us to learn the Zelda songs.
Oh, well, maybe if you.
So
like,
we have
learn
to
a
grass up
song.
Zelda.
Yeah.
So maybe you split the difference. You learn one of hers, she learns one of yours.
Yes, sir.
But she does get up and sing with us, and she has got a beautiful voice.
Oh, that's cool.
She does.
You're not one bit prejudiced, Pam. I can see it in your face.
No, not at all.
But as her grandfather, she's telling the truth.
Yeah, and he's not partial
Well,
at all.
And I know nobody's jumping ship here, so there's a big world out there to play music in. Where would you most like to play?
Go ahead.
I was going to say anywhere they let us in the door.
Yeah,
Well, we did.
exactly.
Look at
We're
this,
so
you're
excited about
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
I took off a half day from work, from school, so that I would have, a halfway decent voice, because I teach. And I didn't want to lose my voice halfway through the day. So,
But seriously, where would we like to
where would we like to
I
play?
think I like to play Jerusalem Ridge.
Jerusalem Ridge.
Oh,
There you go.
yes.
There you go.
That's
Yes.
my place.
And
Where's
where?
that?
That's up in
Kentucky.
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 Got the
That's-
name of
It's
the
Bill Monroe's home place.
Yep.
So okay, so it's a festival. Is it a
Yes.
festival they have?
Yes. Yes.
Now, are y'all gonna do everything you can to be a part of other bluegrass festivals in the region and state?
We are. We have been invited to a bluegrass festival here that's coming up in May, and we've participated in one last year too. And so yes,
San
we are
Angelo, yeah.
San Angelo. Yes, and so we're very excited to get out and share our music with everybody.
Well, I can tell the people out there that listen to us, and you will like these folks, and their music's great too.
Well, thank you.
So, what's
thank you.
next?
Horse of Shiloh.
Horse of Shallow. Explain that one.
One of my many interests throughout the years, besides music, well, actually before music, was horses. And I barrel raced and rodeoed and things like that. And I'm just a teacher at heart. I love to teach kids, or anything that I can boss around is great. So
Is she good at that, guys?
She's a wonderful teacher.
you better say that. No. And so I got into training horses. And it's funny, whenever you're riding and training young colts and things like that, the things that they're boogery at. And when I say boogery, it means like things that scare them.
That's Webster's second definition, by
Yes.
the way.
Right.
We're from the South. We understand.
Right. Walmart sacks are terrifying. And so I started thinking, like horses use their senses. They're like super sensed, I guess you could say. I couldn't imagine what these horses, like on the Civil War battlegrounds, what they were experiencing, because they had no idea what battle was. And so that led me to write this song, Horse of Shiloh, which is about the Battle of Shiloh through a horse's eyes.
Okay.
So that's what this is.
I came into this world a servant of the land. I never dreamed I'd become a servant of the man. I joined this cavalry from a bartered fare, a jug of whiskey and powder, boys, for this chestnut mare. Your saddle and wet blankets won't cure the wild in me. Your ropes may tie me down, but my spirit still runs free. I come up on the hill and see the tattered and the torn. I curse my dam and my sire that day, forever being born. I hear the bugle call, it makes a mournful sound. Mother Earth is trembling, I feel the rumble from the ground. I don't see in color like the men see blue and gray. I try to tell them I don't want to be here anyway. Many men slept at Shiloh, who rolled the servant of the man. I feel the hornet sting up above my chest, feeling awfully tired now. Think I'll just lie down and rest. I came into this world a servant of the land. I never dreamed I'd live and die a servant of the man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's cool that you wrote a song about the War of Northern Aggression. I wrote one last year, too, about 1860s in Richmond.
Oh.
And so maybe it's a thing that's going around now. Maybe we're kind of reflecting back as songwriters.
I think you're right. Craig's got all kinds of relatives that fought in the Civil War, and you're finding out every day.
Yeah, I found out another one yesterday.
Where are you from, Craig?
My folks are from around Crossroads, Alabama.
Okay.
Of course, we're in Combine now, but I had great-great-grandfathers. One that did fight in Vicksburg. He ended up coming back home, survived the war. I had one.
What, many made it out of Vicksburg?
Yeah.
Not many of the men.
Yeah, that's true. He had, I think he'd fallen down towards Mobile, Alabama before he got cut loose. I found out yesterday that I had another great-grandpa that he got wounded in Tennessee, and he spent the remainder of the war as a POW, and he survived.
Wow.
And they all fought for the gray.
That's it.
Well, my family was from North Georgia. That'll tell you about everything you need to know.
There you go.
Well, Craig, you're kind of the quiet one of the bunch.
Yeah, I just play.
Well, I like the historic angle that you're doing here. And the next song you're going to do is a song called Riding the Katy Railroad. Now, I'm from Denison, Texas, and that means a lot to me because Denison is the home of the Katy Railroad. I'd like to know something about this song.
Yeah, I actually wrote this one. It's based on an actual event that occurred in my life when I was 7 years old. My family lived outside of Kansas City, And my grandmother came up from Garland to visit us, and I rode the train back with her from Kansas City to Garland. And this song is kind of written from a 7-year-old's eyes as to what it's really like to ride, a railroad. The interesting thing about it is, from a songwriter standpoint, is there aren't too many words that rhyme with 7. So when you're listening to this song, you'll hear I turned into a 9-year-old.
Okay.
From Kansas City to Garland, I rode the Katy line. My grandma took me there when I was only 9. We traveled all day long across the central states, and when we got to Garland, I couldn't hardly wait. We were riding on the Katy Railroad, riding on the UKT, riding on the Katy Railroad. The clickety-clack of those old tracks was heaven on earth to me. Gentle nudge when the brakeman made the sign. We knew passengers and cargo were secure on the Katy line. I traveled many railways later on my way, but none has ever been more fun than the Katy was that day. We were riding on the Katy Railroad, riding on the MKT, riding on the Katy Railroad. The clack of those old tracks was heaven on earth to me. Now if you go to Garland, you'll see the tracks in station, long since left behind, while progress took a nation. A part of me was left behind with that gentler time, and now it's only a memory since they closed the Katy line. We were riding on the Katy Railroad, riding on the MKT, riding on the Katy Railroad. The clickety-clack of those old tracks was heaven on earth to me. The clickety-clack of those old tracks was heaven on earth to me.
I like the turnaround and the hook in it and everything.
Yeah, very cool.
We talked earlier about influence you've had in your life musically, but let's talk about the influence that made you that really got your attention to want to play music or be involved in music. A song, an artist, or a moment?
I was left out.
In the cold.
Everybody else was playing but me. My husband and I, we went over to our preacher's house one night, and he and my preacher were jamming on guitars and everything, and I was just sitting there and, like a bump on a log. And I said, I want to play something. And so he got this Ovation mandolin off the wall and showed me a couple of chords, and I took it home with me. And I didn't give it back for, 2 or 3 months? Something like that.
Yeah, there's something to be said. You take the preacher's mandolin.
Well, it was an ovation, though. So.
Yeah. I bought some books, and I've taught myself. So I'm a nonconformist.
She has that remarkable ear and timing. I gotta be careful how I say this. I don't want to say I played by myself for a long time because I just would learn a song, and it was kind of a closet player, if you would. And so when you do that, you have no sense of timing. So when this little thing come together, I was pitiful. Oh, and that one, and my wife says, "Oh no, 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 no." So Miss Metronome there finally got me straightened out, and it was ugly for a while.
But you had singer-songwriters and people that just play again solo. They have self-time,
right,
and it's their time.
Willie Nelson.
Oh, it's just that if you sit out with the guitar, just you and a guitar, you and a mandolin, and you're going to play, you can do anything you want. When you add another person, you can't do those things,
True.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I totally understand that. Back to the question: what moment was it that you knew you loved music?
Eddie Van Halen.
Right.
Van Halen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, mine was sitting on the bed at 6 years old, hearing my dad play the guitar next to me.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
And from there on out,
pretty
I
cool.
went from guitar to drums.
I've got to say the Beatles really inspired me, along with about every other teenager.
Yeah, no doubt.
I remember sitting and listening to Dad play the Beatles and singing all the songs with him. But something else that really caught my attention were the musicals, like 42nd Street and the Broadway type shows and things like that. That was what really hooked me into it at the beginning.
Well, in your Big Cat Daddy song, I got that type of an influence in that. Tell us about moving to Missouri. Now, I know y'all, daughter and dad, wrote that together. So
I'll tell you how it happened. It's because I was left out that time. Pam had written 2 songs about the Civil War. Craig came up with one that was a true story about his family during the Civil War, and I didn't have one. So I decided to write one about the Civil War after it's over, and that's what this song is about. It's loosely based on my family's move back after the Civil War from Kentucky to Missouri, and then from Missouri they moved to Texas. But this one is called Moving to Missouri, and it's written from the viewpoint of a 5-year-old girl, and she doesn't quite understand the difference between Missouri and misery. So that's the way this song kind of came about. I got to add one other part. I worked on the chorus trying to make it sound like wagon wheels. So if it sounds like it's wagon wheels to you, please let me know.
I will do.
Ready?
Yep.
Said there's nothing left that we can do, so we're picking up our things, and today we're gonna move. The creaking of the boards and the rattle of the chains make a mournful sound. The whining of the mules and the rumble of the wheels play a lonesome song. This wagon's bound for Missouri, and there we'll settle down. Dad came home with silent eyes, never smiled again. Mom said he fought for us, brother lost an arm at Shiloh and died up on his horse. I can still see his initials carved upon our old back porch. The creaking of the boards and the rattle of the chains make a mournful sound. The whining of the mules and the rumble of the play a lonesome song. This wagon's bound for Missouri, and there we'll settle down.
I've got a question to ask you, Craig. I'm a little concerned about this. Okay, it's something that's come to my attention. What have you got against boots?
Boots?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I work in them.
I mean, but you're hanging out with all the boots, and you're over here in like hush puppies.
Yeah, hey.
Buster Browns.
Buster Browns, yeah.
They frequent the stores a lot. They know how to dress.
And then you come up with a song called "No Shoes."
Yeah, well.
Okay, if
I
you
think
got
he
a foot,
has a foot fetish.
I think he's
for
got
sure.
a foot fetish. Yeah.
Oh, me.
Tell us about this song.
Yeah, dating back to, reflecting back on what I said earlier, my great granddad in the Civil War. I thought about that, and I tried to pick up the perspective of what would it be like, after the war is over, or when you were released, to get back home. You couldn't go out and get a car or motorcycle, and if there was no horses, you had no money, then you were left walking. So that's virtually what I wrote this about, was just the kind of conditions maybe it'd been like coming home after war.
All right, No Shoes.
Okay, here we go. It's been a long and winding road since the war that chapped my soul. No more guns, no more death. All my friends, there are none left. Been walking down this dusty road for days or maybe months. I really can't recall as my feet they hurt so much. I'd give my shirt or pants and bargain for a pair of shoes. Since northern Tennessee, I really got the blues. Now fighting in a war for years can really get you down. I got a woman waiting at home for me in southern Alabama. I can see the cabin in my mind as she's standing at the door. Can't wait another second, I gotta get there even more. I keep on walking as long as I have to, bear the pain of no money or food. I can't wait to see your face, I walk alone with no disgrace. I keep walking as long as I have to. Send him on home. May the good Lord have mercy on his soul. I keep on walking as long as I have to, bear the pain of no money or food. I can't wait to see your face, I walk alone with no disgrace. I keep walking as long as I have to. I see over the hill looks so familiar, but still. Then I see you standing there, and all my troubles just disappeared. Yes, all my troubles just disappeared. I keep on walking as long as I have to, bear the pain of no money or shoes. I can't wait to see your face, I walk alone with no disgrace. I stop walking and I see your face. It's been a long and winding road.
Hounds.
I just like the fact that you guys are all participating in every way that you can.
Yeah.
Really cool. Really cool.
Tell us about your new album, title, and who produced it, where you recorded.
We're getting ready to record another album that would be new. This one is, I guess, maybe a year and a half old?
Something like
The
that.
one that you're selling right now.
Yes, the one that we're selling right now. Go ahead, Dad. Tell him about it.
Well, it's on iTunes. It was recorded in Dallas by Valve Studios. We picked that studio because the guy that was doing it, Casey Diorio, he knew what we wanted and how to get it for us. So that's one reason we picked Valve.
Is the new album going to be recorded there too?
Yes.
Okay, good. Cool.
We're certainly hoping to. We put together 10 songs, and 8 of those were originals on that first album. It was self-produced. Mixing was done by Casey, and it was mastered in New York City by West Side Music.
Well, if you guys are looking for a change, I know of a really great recording studio that's at a place near you.
Oh, I know. It's right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Just thought I'd get that little plug in.
Of course.
I have a hard time self-promoting, but that's a
I
good thing I've got
I have no shame.
Well done. Well played. Good
Yes.
job.
Thank you. This has been a great evening.
Yeah.
I am so glad that y'all could make it down this evening, and I hope soon we can get it set up to where you can open a show for one of our studio concerts. They're so much fun.
You've got a song called Sarah's Soldier.
Guess what? It's a Civil War song.
Well, this is okay. This is
Welcome to the Civil War Power Hour.
well,
Hey, that's
I
all
think
right.
that was the
what?
first of the Civil War songs, wasn't
but
it?
you may have an angle on being able to take something into the public school system to teach with too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
'Cause, Brian Burns has done that for a long time. Just with what he does.
And on our first album, I do have, there is a song called Sword Drawn Line, and it's a song about the Alamo, but what inspired me to write that one was the 4th grade studies Texas history. And so the Alamo is Texas history.
There you go.
And
the epitome of Texas
yes,
history.
exactly. And so when you buy the album on iTunes and when you listen to Sword Drawn Line, just remember that was written by a school teacher who was influenced by her 4th grade history.
Well done.
She walks the hills through the midnight hour, a melody of alone. For 30 years she has worn a path to help her soldier come home. And they say that she's harmless, singing songs to the hills. She cries her tears through her mandolin till her soldier comes home. The path she wore from so long ago, nature has reclaimed. She died one night of a broken heart, freed from her maiden name. And they say you still hear her singing songs to the wind. She cries her tears through her mandolin till her soldier comes home.
Friends is Phil, Craig, Jeff, and Pam of Acoustic Soundhounds. Y'all, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You bet.
It's an honor to have you guys.
I also want to thank Larry Green, our engineer,
Thanks,
Gene
Larry.
and Barbara Moore for the photography work that they do for us to make you guys look extra special. Thank you to our studio audience. Thank you to our listening audience.
And you know what? We even have a spider in the audience tonight.
I know, our good old buddy Spider. Thank you for coming down too. And y'all are in the music room with Treadway and Friends.